Good morning, Infinity. Good morning, Infinity. All right. Good morning. Great to have everybody here today and to have everybody streaming in online as well. We want to begin today's service in a powerful way as we absorb the energy today of the Infinity Fellowship. As we're welcoming you in, we want to remind those who are on the way to be careful in those streets today. We know that there's a hint of rain. So be careful on those streets. We also want to remind people that if you're watching today, you can now tag your friends. You can let them know that the fellowship is on. You can also like or subscribe at this time as we begin this space of the Infinity Fellowship. As we think today, the word perspective keeps coming into mind today. Perspective. So everything is about perspective. How we see the world, how we relate to the world, how we open ourselves up into the world. And we're excited today to meditate on the space of perspective. Take a deep breath with me. Oh yeah, let it all out. Take another one in. Release. Take another full breath. Really fill those lungs and that belly up. Exhale, let it all out. Continue to breathe like this. Allow those eyes to close. Allow that head to bow. And begin to focus that energy into the God of your acceptance and understanding. However you define that energy, we invite you to embrace it right now. In this divine stillness, we speak to that light. We speak to that energy in thanksgiving and that energy in perspective. God, we thank you for this covering that you have provided for us today. We thank you for this gathering that you have provided for us today. We thank you for this moment that you have provided us with today, this moment to gather together, to fellowship here in person, to fellowship online, to fellowship in replay, to fellowship and to acknowledge the awareness of your divine presence. Oh, it's been an awesome time. It's been a time of change in the world. So many things have shifted in the world space today. So many things have shifted in the community space today. So many things have shifted in the family space today that we acknowledge, that we recognize that you continually move us through these things and that it's all about our perspective. It's not about the things that happen to us, but it's about how we interact and react to them and with them. And so in this powerful space of peace, we give thanks today for the Infinity Fellowship. Thank you for the reminder that we are not alone. Thank you for the reminder that we are not crazy to think that all of humanity can come together through love. We speak this energy today. We speak that it will broadcast not just from the space here, but from around the world, around the globe, around the universe, that everybody at home and abroad, even the aliens on the spaceships, will feel the love that is emanating from this space today. We acknowledge it, we drink it in, we breathe it in, and we speak that something today will be shared in this service that will remind someone who may have just put it in the back of their mind that you are always present, that you are always here, and that we are tapped into this alignment energy with you in the year of attainment. We proclaim these things to be true, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. Deep breath in, exhale, let it go. And we give thanks. It's time for the pouring of our libations, and we are grateful in this moment. When we think about what we are grateful for, the shoulders that we stand upon, we recognize that as we pour this libation today, we pour with water because it represents the living. We pour into the earth that represents what happens to these physical bodies when we transition to that space of life after life. We recognize that we stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us. So as we pause to open the way for them, to invite them into the space as living energy, we recognize that absence in this physical body means presence with the divine cosmos. It does not end with this physical manifestation. But those who have gone before are the building blocks. They are the cornerstones for us moving forward in life. Anytime you build a building, you start with the cornerstone. In ancient tradition, you build in the northeast corner. And when you build in the northeast corner, you create a strength that continues to fortify the entire building. So our building, our purpose in this world is fortified by those who came before. And so as we pour this water today, we recognize that completion of that divine circuit. And we use the Yoruba word ashe. Ashe means essence, it means life. It is a proclamation of and so it is. And we are ever grateful in this day to awaken and to pour this water in recognition of those who have come before. And we say, cool water, freshen our spirits, ashe. Freshen and consecrate this house, ashe. Freshen our collective ancestors, ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother, Father God, Divine Source, and all creation, ashe. Grant to us peace, love, and prosperity, ashe. We pour for the children in the world, womb and yet unborn, ashe. We pour to the energy of the north, where we find our sense of direction. May we find direction in this life and walk in purpose, ashe. We pour to the energy of the South, where there is remembrance of who we are. We always remember of who we are, whatever culture we come from, whatever ethnicity we are, whatever our background is. We are grounded in a profound way of love that allows us to not only love ourselves, but to respect and love others, ashe. We pour to the rising energy, sun energy of the East, recognizing that there is always light in the darkness, that even on a rainy day like today, that sun is still shining up there above those clouds, ashe. To the energies of the West, when the sun goes down, that lunar cycle begins, and we still have light in the darkness. It was a full moon recently, and I just had to pull over on the road and recognize the beauty of the moon. It was so big I could reach out and touch it. So even when it's dark, God can reach out and touch you, ashe. We pour to the skies above us, that blank space, that landscape, that canvas that we can paint our dreams on and bring them into reality, ashe. We pour to the ground below us because we are rooted in who we are. We are rooted in whose we are, and we are proud, and we are existing in divine love, ashe. And to the space that brings them all together, we pour to the center of those directions, the seventh direction, the crossroads of the human heart, that space where our dreams live, where the energy to get up and go and do in spite of circumstance resides. We pour to this energy, ashe. In this moment, I ask you to think about the people in your family, think about your friends, think about those loved ones who have transitioned to the space of life after life. If you're at home, type them in the box. If you're here in the space, we're going to ask you to call their names aloud. But as we transition in this space, we have one name that I think about that I want to call aloud, actually a few names. There are about 3,000 names that I could call aloud right now because this is September 11th. And we want to remember those who transitioned into life after life on September 11th. Some people had friends, some people had relatives, some people had co-workers who transitioned in that space. And we want to recognize that transition, a mark upon the entire world. Those names are being read right now, all of those names from all the cities that were affected. I don't know about you, but I think I remember very specifically where I was in that moment when somebody called me and woke me up and said, hey, turn on your TV set. And I personally, I got my TV on. Tazita said she was pregnant. I remember on my couch, and I remember they called me after the first tower. And I remember seeing that horrifying sight of that second tower being struck. And that is something that we always remember. But we remember to grieve, but we also remember to be grateful so that we can move forward in the world and make sure that people did not transition in vain. Ashe. To those who have lost loved ones and relatives, governments, heads of state, all of those transitions that have happened, we pour in energy there. Ashe. We pour here locally for one of our local kings who has made a transition. And I think about his energy because he's been there for 30 years at the great Fisk University. And it's some hard shoes to fill. He had to fill Ella Shepherd Moore, and he had to fill Matthew Kennedy. He had to fill the shoes. And the great Dr. Paul T. Kwame Ashe, who for 3 decades was director of the historic Fisk Jubilee Singers. Oh man, what a transition, what a power, what an energy to be able to lead a group and to maintain a tradition that is decades and decades and decades old, but to also not just maintain the tradition, but to amplify the transition. Under Paul T. Kwame, the Fisk Jubilee Singers did new albums that were recorded and spread around the world, won a Grammy, appeared on international global television. Fisk University is enjoying right now its largest class of incoming freshmen in 5 decades. So this explosive growth is due to the culture that he helped maintain, the culture that gave us in Nashville the title of Music City. That energy was caretaken by Brother Paul T. Kwame. So we send that energy into the space today. We invite you in this space at home and abroad, and at home, and wherever you are, to call those names aloud of the people that you want to remember in the space at this time. Call them aloud and let's bring them in. Ashe. We proclaim this energy open. The space is clear. The energy is in the space. And so it is. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. All right. Good morning, Infinity. All right. As we open the doors for people to come in at this time, and we welcome all of you who are on the way again, those of you who have made it, those of you who are coming, those of you who are watching. We welcome you into the space of fellowship this morning, and we turn our attention, hey, the ladies. We turn our attention to today's meditation, something for us to think about throughout the day. It comes to us from a great book that I talk about a lot, I use a lot here at Infinity, called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And we'll see that up, we'll put that up for you at home so that you can see that. And this is something that I've used a lot of times in communal celebrations. I've used it in marriages and marriage ceremonies. If I've married some of you, y'all have heard it before. But it's talking about love and community, and I think it's important, and Spirit has something to say. Quote, "Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together, and be joyous. But let each of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow." Always give us a few seconds to inhale that one and breathe it out. When you think about that temple, when you think about that space there, you recognize that you can't have pillars together. The building will fall. When you think about the entry of the temple, there's a pillar on the left and a pillar on the right. It's the separateness that allows them to work together. So be together, but be a little separate. It's time for our statement of infinitude, and Sister Kenitha is going to come forward with that. Ashe.
Ashe. Well, good morning, everybody. Hi. Yes. So as we welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship, I remind you of the 4 core principles here at Infinity, and it's the spiritual community. It's what we call SNAP. The essence SNAP is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own understanding. The N is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. And finally, this is important, the P is for the proof that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, dreams, etc., etc. We are grateful you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. This is the foundational practice of true interspirituality, where all are affirmed in love energy. So I invite you all at home and in this space to stand with me and join me in our statement of infinitude. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe, with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it, because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at Infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community. Let it be so according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe.
Is. Are you excited to be here today? Keep on standing. Going to hit the music, Daniel. Going to hit good morning. As we are in the space today, we're going to generate gratitude, and we're going to make sure, I'm going to wait till I hear the music, then I know to start talking, right? So as we are in the space, right, we got Reggie playing in the background for us. So we're going to say one thing that we're grateful for, and we're going to say good morning to you. This is when we greet everybody. So one thing that you're grateful for, and tell somebody your name if you don't know somebody.
Good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say a da 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 da.
Let me hear you at home. Come on, greet people in your house. Send somebody a text and say, here's one thing I'm grateful for. I dare you. All right, let's go. Let's say good morning. If you're at home, put something in the box so we can talk to you and share what you've got.
A good morning to you. Good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. So glad to see y'all online and with us in this space. Good morning to you. da 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 da, and da 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 da, da 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 da. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. 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 Good morning.
All right, y'all. We got a special Sunday today. Oh, yeah.
Well.
We turning on some things today.
Well.
Oh, yes. My mom would say, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
So we're gonna sing a little bit. We're gonna get things ready. Tony took us to the Voices light. He took us down a little bit in the house. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Here's what we're gonna need. Daniel's gonna put on our other mics back here, and everybody at home is gonna join us in this thing.
Yes.
So we'll go back and forth so everybody has the lyrics at home. We can flash them the lyrics, Tony, every now and then, but we can put the lyrics up for y'all so everybody here can be a part of this. So the Voices of Infinity today is everybody here.
It is.
We're going back. Y'all gonna give it a snap.
That
Going to give it a
communal
clap. Come on.
singing, huh?
I hope you give it a snap because we're gonna give it a clap in a minute.
Uh-huh.
See, back in the old days, for my young folks in here, back in the old days before we started bringing the instruments in, we had the drums.
Yes.
And then when the drums went away, because the drums were a form of communication, the only thing we had was our bodies.
Yes.
We had our bodies and we had our voices. So if we stomped on that floor, that floor gave us the beat. And when you're in those old churches, you could always hear that foot.
You hear that little stomp?
You hear that.
Yes.
And then you had the tap, that knee slap. Right, and then you had that clap.
Yes.
And then when it got to R&B, you had that snap star. But when I was coming up, they said, don't you snap in church. But I don't know what that was. They wouldn't let you snap.
They didn't want you snapping in church.
No, you snap in church. You can clap. That's how you know people didn't, they say you come into a space, you got to know your audience and occasion. People go, oh, this is great music. Oh,
No.
we don't snap.
We ain't snapping it.
We pat, we stomp, we clap. We stomp, tap, pat, snap, clap.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
The only snap we got in Infinity
I don't
is
know if I'm remembering
spirituality, nurturing, action, and proof.
There it is, right there.
But I don't judge. If you need to snap, snap. Wherever you are at home. So look, if you're at home, gather your people together. Get your family, get your friends. Tell everybody they're going to help you sing.
Yes.
And we want to hear it. We want to hear it. We got it in there. Sister Denise couldn't wait. She said, let me get some music going. Let me get it going. So Sister Kenitha, tell us about what we're going to do.
So
we're gonna get some
in
melody
honor
in.
of
What
us
we got?
having communal singing again, because we sent you Reggie. We love you. Y'all know you're gonna be phenomenal tonight.
Oh, we don't know.
So-
Do we need to do that? We need to hold that for Standing Ovation, though.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and sing together, and y'all just gonna follow along. For some of you, this might be new. A lot of us, this is how we were raised in our services and church services. We would sing together. So especially for my young folks, you get an opportunity to be able to experience this type of singing communally, singing together and raising that level. And for everyone online, it's the same thing. Get your kids out so that they can start learning some of these songs, because this is the stuff that used to get us through.
This
I'ma
is
say
stuff
this.
that got
This
us
is the
through,
stuff
man.
that got
This
us
has got a
through.
lot of people through.
Ancestors,
And I mean a lot of people. And don't get it twisted. All of this music came out of the experience
Yes.
of oppressed people in America. And though there's no accident that you have the same kind of energy coming from Mississippi as you do Appalachia.
Yes.
Yeah, people, dark-skinned folk in Mississippi. You got people we consider white in Appalachia singing folk music. All of
Yes,
this
and
this
that's
is
just
how
so
you
much.
express yourself.
Yes.
So we, of course, we're in a spiritual space, so we changed a few of the lyrics around to be a little
Yes,
more
we did.
inclusive. because that's the way we do. We're
Yes,
here to
it is.
evolve, and we're here to get it going. So,
Yes.
all right, Mama,
You
where we
ready?
start? Yeah.
I'm on my way. There you go.
I'm on. Is everyone at the key?
Uh-huh.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way
to Freedom Land.
Freedom Land.
I'm on my way
I'm on my way
to Freedom Land.
Freedom Land.
I'm on my way
I'm on my way
to Freedom Land.
Freedom Land.
I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Do that again, come on. I'm on my way, I'm on my way to Freedom Land.
Freedom Land.
On my way,
I'm on my way
to Freedom Land. To Freedom Land. I'm on my way, I'm on my way to Freedom Land. To Freedom Land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Come
Here
on,
we
let's
got
clap.
another
Come on,
one.
come on, show me the clap.
Hey, yeah.
Come on, Khalil.
Here we go, yeah. Spirit is on the main line.
Name just what you want. Spirit is on the main line. Claim just what you want.
Hey, Spirit
Spirit's on the
is
main line. Claim just what you want. Call it up and claim just what you want.
Hey, Spirit is on the main line.
Claim just what you want.
Hey, Spirit is on the main line.
Claim just what you want.
Oh, Spirit is on the main line.
Claim just what you want. Call it up and claim just what you want.
Let's clap a little bit.
If you sick and you can't get well, claim just what you want. I said if you sick and you can't get well, claim just what you want. If you sick and you can't get well, claim just what you want. Call it up and claim just what you want. Come on.
Hey, y'all ready?
Hey. Come on, girls. Come on up here. Come on up here so I can hear y'all.
A little bit more. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know everybody knows this one. Yeah, this little light of mine.
Come on, y'all. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Hey,
This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
This little
light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Oh, everywhere
Yeah.
I go.
Everywhere I go. Yeah. I'm gonna let it shine.
I said everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I said everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it
I
shine.
said all up in my home.
All up in my home.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, all up in
All
my
up
home.
in my home.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I said all up in
All
my
up
home.
in my home.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
And here's how this one goes. I said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I
Couldn't keep it to myself.
but I
Couldn't keep it to myself. Couldn't keep it to myself.
I said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I
Couldn't keep it to myself.
what my God has done
for me.
Well, do that again. I
Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. I said hey, I said oh, I said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I, oh, wasn't been there. Oh, when God fed my soul, you ought to been there. You ought to be there. When God made me whole, I started walking, I started talking, started singing, started shouting what my God has done for me. Come on, let's do that again, y'all know. You ought to been there. You ought to been there. When God fed my soul, you ought to been there. When God made me whole, I started walking, started talking, started singing, started shouting what my God has done for me. Y'all know something about that. Come on.
Come on and clap a little bit.
Some of y'all know about this. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I laid my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I laid my burdens down. The old folks used to say, I feel better. So much better since I laid my burdens down. I feel better, so much better since I laid my burdens down. Let me tell you what happened. My friends don't treat me like they used to. Since I laid my burdens down, my friends don't treat me like they used to. Since I laid my burdens down, oh, burdens down, Lord, burdens down, Lord. Since I laid my burdens down, burdens down, Lord, burdens down, Lord. Since I laid my burdens down. Yeah. Come on, clap it up, come on. Yeah. I ain't worried, I done spilled stuff, I don't care. When you in the space of Thanksgiving, you just know that you on your way to that space, and you know ain't nothing gonna stop you from where you going. Hey, I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. I asked my sister to come and go with me. I asked my sister to come and go with me. I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. I asked my brother to come and go with me. I asked my brother to come and go with me. I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Woo, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Woo. My.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Taking on back.
Oh, my. We ain't done that one in forever. I done kicked the coffee over. I'm so
Yes,
glad. Oh, so I don't care, you know.
I know.
Friends don't treat me like they used to, y'all. I hear you. I hear you in the space today, man. Man. Voices of Infinity. We need to get an album going in here. Those kind of songs, man. We don't get to hear those songs, and young people don't often get to hear the energy that's in those songs, the thanksgiving, the release that's in those songs, y'all. And if you don't get those lessons, you don't respect and understand what happened before you. There was a time when you say, in hip hop, we said we don't need no music. But you know, that came from somewhere. So as we are in the space today, we are grateful, y'all. Y'all sound so awesome, y'all. What an awesome time. What an awesome time at home. I can only imagine. I can see what's happening in other households around. Trey, you know they were going in. I know the lenses were going in too. I want to get a couple of moments of gratitude from the chat that I can pull, because I know everybody. We have to scroll back, because when I look at the chat now, I see a whole bunch of people saying yes, hallelujah, singing. We'll put you up. Sister Leanne is coming in from Belgium. Grateful to be with all of us today. Snap, snap, snap. We've got also Brother Terrell Lindsay and the Lindsay family. I know y'all were singing. And we know we're grateful for alignment. We're grateful for it too as well. We're grateful. Sister Magala is in the house. Dr. Magala from Los Angeles. We're here from California. Good morning, Infinity Fellowship. We got Tashana and the rest of the Lindsay family grateful for Infinity. And that full moon last night was beautiful. What great energy is in the space today. Sister Felina is in the house. Grateful for my Infinity Fellowship family, for health, and my 2 children. What a moment of gratitude in here. Grateful for Sister Michelle Mayberry. Good morning from Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Grateful for my wonderful, loving son. He's such a great young man. Yes, he is. And an author as well. We remember that. We're looking forward to all of that. We see Sister Stacy is in the house. Good to see you, Sister Stacy. Good morning from Clarksville, Maryland. I looked up a city that's about an hour away from you, Sister Stacy, that I'm trying to visit. I'm going to call you about that. I'm grateful for one more day of life on this side, good health, and a loving family. Oh, isn't it awesome? Brother Jeff Napier is here. Good morning, Flying Brother Jay and Sister Kay and Infinity family. We got so much to be grateful for this week. You know what? Hold that one, Tony. We're going to come back, because that's going to be a standing ovation. So, Brother Jeff, all the good things that are happening for you, we're going to get the standing ovation, and we're going to clap for you in this space right now. Sister Kay Sharp says, these songs are taking me back to Revival Sundays. This is a Revival Sunday. This is a time to be revived. It's Nurturing Sunday at Infinity, and I'm here for it. I'm sweating. I got my cardio on. I'm all right. I'm all right. Everything is all right. So we want to say good morning. This is the time where we welcome our visitors, our first timers. If we have anybody online who is a first timer, we're going to put a QR code up. That code is on your screen right now. It's also here in the space today. We want to welcome you and say that we see the real you. We see absolutely who you truly are. You are not a human being who showed up today to have a spiritual experience. That is the icing on the cake. You are a spirit who is navigating the human experience, just like the rest of us. So we ask that you take a picture or hold your phone up to the QR code that you see on the screen, even if you're watching on the replay. Join us in the space today and fill out the form so that we can send you something. We're going to send you a special gift. And everybody who is here in the space today, after the offertory period, I'm going to give you a special gift today too as well. So we're going to get some gifts. We got some new gifts to give. I'm going to pass those out today. So the benefit for those of you who survived and survived the Jackson State, Tennessee State Classic, whether you went to it or whether you recovered from a party last night, for you getting up and coming today, I'm giving everybody here something special to take with you. And we're going to send something special to those of you who are online. So if you're at home, wherever you are, we like to say a very special welcome from Infinity Fellowship. And so we're going to invite everybody in the space to stand and to turn to somebody. I'm going to remind you that if you have a standing ovation too, after our visitors welcome, we're going to do our offering. During our offertory period is when we also release our young people downstairs. And when we do that, please fill out the standing ovation, and you can place it inside. Hand me that red jar back there, Sister Kanitha. I'm going to put it up here because it's important. You can fold it and put it up in here so that we can read your standing ovation. So make sure you do that. The forms are in the back if you need one. All right, so turn to somebody. Look in their eyes. Look in their eyes right there. That's awesome. I know it's difficult sometimes. You know, we get taught not to look people in the eye because you'll be ready to fight. But we don't do that here at Infinity. We show the love. And so I'm going to send the love to you at home. If you're a first-time visitor, type first time in the box at home so that we can recognize you as well. Scan that QR code, say first time in here, and my online infinite streamers, shower them with love and affection. If you're at home with your family, turn to them. If your kid's in the kitchen, go grab them and just repeat this after me. Say, hey, I got something to tell you. Everybody here in the space, say, hey, I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you. It's a whisper, it's a buzz. I got something to tell you. All right, take a deep breath. Exhale, let it go. All right, repeat after me. I see you.
I see you.
But you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside.
You are more than what's on the outside.
You're a gift to me.
You are a gift to me.
And to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me. Well, I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you are not alone. I'm with you. We're with you. And you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? I know the real you. And I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. I know you're shining today. So welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Asheo. All right. As we prep for the offering, give a fist bump to 2-3 people just to let them know that you see them. And we prepare ourselves. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job. We're going to help each other out. All right. So as we prepare for our giving, and after our giving, we can make our transition for our young people. And we can also take a pause to get a cup of coffee, to get a refill if you need a refill of coffee or tea. I need a refill of coffee or tea because I stomped mine out in the praise medley, which is all good. I think I might have a little bit. Do I have a little bit?
I love it to sip.
I got a swig.
That was the ancestors. But like friends.
That was the ancestors. How about that? True story, y'all. True story.
Take that right there, honey.
True story.
Mama
My granddaddy.
That was a song.
My granddaddy gave my first sip of coffee, and my mama used to like that strong coffee too. And I made me a wonderfully strong cup of coffee this morning, and I just got a few sips out. And so I think my ancestors, after we called on everybody and we started that energy, that's where I learned how to sing those songs. I think they said we need a little bit of a pouring out for ourselves. And water ain't enough today.
Yes, they got some.
They got all of it. They said, but when you pour in like that, that's when you hear the word sacrifice, when you hear the word offering, that's what offering comes from. Even in traditional Western religions where there is some sacrifice that is given, there are burnt offerings, there is human sacrifice. In the Christian tradition, the sacrifice of a person for all of humanity. It's about an offering. So we take offering very seriously as much as we enjoy it around here, because we give gratefully and we give joyously. And so those of you who know, whatever you give is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So this is our offertory period. So we know we exist as a community because we pour back in. This is a valuable space. It provides safe spaces for people who have experienced trauma in other spaces. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we're on the cusp of 8 years of existence, because so many of you have partnered with us to help this community continue to grow and flourish. During COVID, we would not have been here had it not been for those who have said, you know what, I received this spiritual food in this place called Infinity Fellowship. And so I am going to pour back into it. And the way I pour back into it is by showing up. And if I can't be there physically, I show up financially. And by pouring my energy into this space, it expands. So wherever you are in the globe, we are talking to you because of people who said, this spiritual message, this community is so important that we're going to make sure we grow it and we're going to amplify it. And we got some great things that we've been talking about that we're putting into action, and we are going to amplify that. So I want you to amplify today in a space of good as you prepare your offering. You can give electronically in the physical space. You can give in the basket. If you are electronically giving, you can give through Cash App. You can give through PayPal. You can give through the mail. Many of you mail in your tithes and your offerings, and we are grateful for that. But we want to supercharge this because giving is a party too.
Yes, it is.
If you don't have that energy of the party when it's time to give, it's time to change the frequency of your vibration. Because I guarantee you, I can show you a direct line between people who give and people who receive great things abundantly, and people who don't give and people who keep going through drama. I was going through drama myself until I realized I can't attract the spirit of abundance if I'm operating in the spirit of lack and fear and holding back. When I'm holding back, the universe is saying, oh, they want more holding back. So let me hold back from them. But we are in this space where we give freely. We don't give from guilt, we give from love. It's a love vibration. So here we are in this space today, in a space where we can say that everything is good. And I got it. So let us rise to our feet as we prepare to give. We're going to say together our offertory affirmation. And you all, we will bring this slide up at home so you can say this with us. This is a powerful spoken word affirmation. Once we say it, we give, and I guarantee you, you will watch and see some miraculous things happen in your life because you have released the fear. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, let it all go. Let's say it together consciously. Oh, limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess. You have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely, with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. Everybody repeat after me. Everything is good.
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 I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it good.
I got it good.
Let's give in the space and let's give at home. We're taking our coffee break too, so let's come on in. Our kids will transition to our young space and we'll sing along with us. Sing along as we make it happen, you all. Let's do it.
Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Yes, it is. I said, yes, it is. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Hey, everything. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Come on, y'all. Everything. Hey, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, sing with me now. Everything is good. Yes, it is. I said, yes, it is. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it so good.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. I got it good. Thank you, Sister Kenita, for a wonderful song there. So look, it's time for our announcements again as we get ready for the rest of the service, as we get ready for the message, as our children has transitioned to the space downstairs. We invite everybody to enjoy preparing for the standing ovations that we get to announce. This is the wonderful, wonderful moment to announce the standing ovations. We're going to get to those in a second. We want to make sure that if you've got something and you're in the space, fill it out so we can put it into the box here so we can get right to it and make that announcement. We're going to welcome you all to September. Again, this is the 9th month of 2022. This is the 4th quarter. And we know, just like I know with my Tennessee State University Tigers last night, that their game is won, or in this case lost, in the 4th quarter. So we're going to win. But shout out to Tennessee State and Jackson State. 52,000 people in attendance last night at the Liberty Bowl for the final Southern Heritage Classic. 30 years of tradition going on there. But just a well-fought game. It was so well-fought that it was like 9-6 or 6-3 the whole time until the 4th quarter. And some calls went, but two great teams are going to have two great seasons. HBCU football is just going in. And the so-called little guys have won. I don't follow a lot of football, but I saw that a lot of the little guys won. Marshall's a mid-major program, beat Notre Dame, beat them. And you know, you got a big payout when you're a small school. They pay you like $1 million to come play them so they can beat up on you in the first part of the season. But that's a metaphor in there. There's a story in there. They paid David to come play Goliath. David walked out with the W and the money. Mid-major that Tennessee State played in the playoffs a few years ago, Appalachian State. They played one of the big teams. I think it was Texas A&M, SEC. They got paid $1.5 million to walk up in that stadium and get humiliated. And they walked out with a win and $1.5 million. So what does that tell you? The message is that somebody might give you something to take advantage of you, but when you're in alignment doing what you're supposed to do and clicking on all cylinders, you will walk out with the W and the money. Well, whatever abundance resources you got. If you walk in alignment and in purpose, and this year is about attainment. We've been in alignment, you are attaining the things. The definition of an attainment is the act or fact of achieving a goal toward which one has worked. We know that you've been working toward those goals. We know that this is the year for the big payoff of those goals. We know that we don't know how those goals are going to come about. It's not our job to make them happen. It's our job to be in alignment. Then the universe knows our address and it will be delivered. So we say our daily mantra. In a minute, we're going to sing it, but we say it right now. I live in the overflow.
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 That's all that I have to know.
That's all that I have to know.
I live in the overflow.
I live in the overflow.
All right, with that said, y'all, let's go. It's time for Standing Ovation.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news. Our standing ovation.
Almost. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I'm
That's
off.
going to be a
Just
contest. We might have to do a videotape. You're globally. Yeah, tape yourself during Standing Ovation and see if you can nail it.
because I'm like, a little short off. Okay. Our high energy at IF, of course, comes from our practice of snap. It's why we snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys. That's spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and apply it in our lives. That's action. And if we do these, then every week we see examples of progress in our lives, and that's the proof. So let us pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. So when your name is called, please stand as I read aloud your manifestation. When I finish each person's ovation, we will all snap our fingers to celebrate. And then at the end, guess what? We're going to do a collective standing ovation at the end. Yes. All right.
And our standing ovation, hold on one second.
And if this is your first time online, please share your standing ovation as well, please.
Yes, if you had something that you manifest online, it's something good that happened to you. We already saw Jeff has one. So if you have it, type it in quickly so we can get to you. I just took a huge swig of my coffee, so that gave me enough momentum to be able to jump and stomp and go crazy for standing ovations. That's why I took it. That's why I took it. So standing ovation, we're going to get you in there and make it happen with you. Okay, Skinny said, don't go too far. Lord, have mercy. Help me, Lord. Standing ovation, we have first, Sister Denise Knows. Ever always grateful because great things keep happening to you. That's what it is. All right. Sister Denise Knows, my accomplishment good news is, I was a guest on the live streamed show Morning on Main Street this past Friday. The show is streamed in multiple counties throughout the entire state of Tennessee.
Oh my goodness.
The show has also appeared, this is where she appeared on Friday, on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and more. Sister Do-Over Coach Denise.
Yes, superstar.
She's a superstar.
Yes.
All right, well, we got Denise, Sister Denise. She goes to the accomplished pile.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
She
we
goes
gotta
to the
have
accomplished
that
pile.
for the whole year.
You know, and let me tell y'all this, because this is what we've been doing since we've been open. I'm gonna show y'all this. This is what you call in the hood a fat roll.
Yes. We've been holding on to it.
Talisa, remind me, a knot. This is what you call a fat knot. The good things that have been happening for you all, for everybody in this space, the ovations that you're getting from manifestations, they are becoming so thick that we had to move them to their own jar. And that does not count what we got coming in online. I could make this rain in here today.
Yes.
I'm gonna get me one of those little, I'm gonna get me, I think I'm gonna concede, well, people say there's some kind of gun that you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't
Oh, no.
I've only heard of this theoretically.
No.
The manifestation gun.
No.
I'm
Oh, my
told
goodness,
there is a
no.
manifestation gun
No.
that allows you to project good things into the world,
Instead,
and we,
okay.
New Year's Eve or something, we just
Well,
got to,
alright.
but something. But it's becoming we got a fat knot of manifestation. We're gonna make it rain. Manifestations on people.
goodness.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
Isn't it great? I want to give thanks in the space today. We got standing ovation. Oh, we got great standing ovations. Good. As they're coming in, we are seeing them. Tony's got one. We're going to put it up. Standing ovation from Brother Tony. I had the opportunity to attend my first Nashville Soccer Club game. It's like going to an NFL game times 10.
Oh, my goodness. Woo.
Got your first goal? Okay. Tony got the video. He's got to prove it. I was going to say, man, that's some, okay, that's a drunken revelry.
Yes.
So we're glad that, Tony, you got to have that experience.
It's
And we're
fun.
glad that you survived to tell about it. Tony, you comfortable coming up here a second, man? Come up here a second, because I need you to tell people what the significance of soccer
Yes.
is for you, because there's a little known fact that people at home, and y'all recognize Brother T, there's something that people at home may not know about your lineage in soccer. Tell us about that.
Well, but some of y'all don't know, my father, he actually played soccer for Colombia and also Mexico City, like back in the 70s. he actually had the opportunity to go against Pele, and came out with a silver medal. And I actually have his jersey at home. I wish I had brought it with me. I didn't think about it at the time, but next time when I go again, I'm definitely gonna bring it with me. So it was definitely a great experience.
Thank you, brother. So, and Tony's worn that jersey to infinity before, and it's great, man. You like a soccer star. So, yeah, appreciate you, man. I've been around some of that crowd. I'm just thankful, Tony, that you're here today. After that. Oh, in other countries. Oh, yeah. Yeah, globally, and Leanne, you in Belgium, you know, for those of you coming in from the continent, from the motherland, and from Europe, soccer is the biggest sport in the world. They call it football everywhere else except for America. It's called, we call it NFL football. But here, that soccer is so huge, and people, I mean, literally, I've seen people collapse in stadiums. Somebody messed up a goal, and they got beat up. Somebody else got messed up a goal. They got attacked on a train. I mean, people are true fans. Run across the field with or without clothes, and understand, because people say, how do people act like that are fans? Understand that the word fan is short for fanatic. So it's abbreviation of fanatic. So yes, people can get into those things. I'm glad, Tony, you got to observe and have fun and revel in it. We got Thea in Jones in the house today. Standing ovation. We got to get a little preview of this, but we want to make sure that we announce that today. You want to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I? Okay.
Go ahead,
Okay.
please.
So Sister Thea says, I have accepted the position of Director of Engagement at Oz Arts Nashville. and we are in contract on a new house.
Dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da.
Look at that. Director of Engagement.
Director.
At Oz.
Not just director, but director.
Director. Come on.
We're going to start speaking with an accent
Yes.
now. You know how it is. We get to be director.
Yes. She gets to walk. You get to
Yes,
walk
it
in
is.
with a cape.
I was named
How about that
executive
part?
director. Then you see them after they get the job. It's like, I'm executive director.
Yes. Alicia, you should have done artistic director.
Yes. Alicia is the autistic director. He's like, you're from Mississippi. You're from South Nashville. I say whatever. It's a manifestation. It's in the house today.
Contract on a new house.
Tony, if you take us back up, man, we're going to go to Jeff Napier because I know he's had a lot of great
Flying J,
things. I
Flying
want to
J,
find him
Flying J.
and make sure we get. There's Jeff, and I'm going to have to do
Flying
half and
J,
half on
Flying
this one.
J.
Good morning. We got so much to be grateful for this week. Jeff passed both the Phase 2 final exam at the Railroad and the Phase 3 primary exam. And I'm going to pause on that because I'm sharing. You told me it was okay for me to share, Jeff, so I don't mind sharing this. Y'all know I don't share anybody's business at Infinity. I'm a spiritual leader. But the reality is, Jeff was like, I had to get a 90. I think it was on the test. And I got an 89.
Ooh, that's worse.
And
Like
he said 1 point. I know I'd rather get that. In my day, I would have
I
50.
know. At least I'm like, I'm so far away from it.
I'd rather see it in the distance and get right to the line.
1 point.
So, but I talked to him that day, and he said, I got a chance to retake it in the morning. So I'm going to go over my stuff tonight. He said 89 out of 90. He needed to get that 90 to pass to the next phase. And he got up the next morning. I got a text. He said 98.
I know, there it is.
We also
reversed,
acquired a
89,
new,
98.
to us, enclosed trailer for my son's drift car. They have a drift car that they have been using as a tool to show younger people that there's more to life than running with the wrong crowd and doing bad things. And we believe God rewarded us with this new trailer. Always follow your dreams. God has given us all the tools. We have to use them in meaningful ways.
Yes, you better speak. Yes, Fire J.
And when I say
Yes,
the drift car for his son, for you both, for the Napiers, the son has been getting into driving the drift cars around the track, and they promised that I'm gonna get to ride with him one day. So yeah, I'm gonna ride one day in a drift car. I'm looking for. I like this stuff. You're not gonna go.
No,
Didn't I thought you would like that? Y'all, anybody in here like extreme speeds? Okay, Trey, I'm about to get Trey. Okay, Tony. Okay. Good. Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Well, all of the drift cars
Hold on, it's not
are
just
like
mine.
Honda's Toyota small cars. So Jeff and his son got this idea. They bought this frame, literally this frame, for like a 1973 Monte Carlo. It's this super long, old school car, right? No, that thing is, you can drive that thing on the open sea. I used to have a 76 Impala. I know, that thing is like a ship. That's like a ship that's lost and driven.
All right, now.
So you have that energy, and so they did it, and it was so odd that whenever they started showing up at these drift car places, all the people start gathering around them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a metaphor for standing out. Don't try to fit in. So as a result, they've been looking for a trailer, and they were going to trade, trying to sell a truck and everything. They had it in their mind, and the universe made it so that this guy called them, and he said, "Hey, do you want this kind of truck for your truck?" And he's like, "No, I don't really want that." He said, "I just want to sell it." And he said, "Okay." He called him back a day later. It's like, "Do you have I got another truck. Do you want a Denali?" He said, "No, I don't. I just, we got this little tow truck, flatbed. We're just trying to sell it," in their mind. And then the guy called back a little later and said, "Well, I don't know if you want it, but I got a trailer, an enclosed trailer."
That's what they wanted.
And he said, "What?" And they went to it. It was bigger than the one that they wanted to get. And the guy the car they wanted to sell, they said, "Even trade." Never had to pay it down. So the universe knows your address.
Yes.
It's not up to you to figure out the how.
Address, man.
It's for you to get that. So what a great manifestations in there. The congratulations are on there. And Jeff put in there, not only is it an old school Monte Carlo, but they built the entire engine and the framework. It's like it's impressive.
Really impressive.
And they built it to run on alcohol. So it runs on alcohol, not on gas.
That's all right.
I gotta get me one of those. Y'all imagine me coming around Nocturne Drive. Give me an old school. All right, y'all. So tell us what we do, Mama.
Okay, so if you shared wherever you are, you get to have a seat, several seats. While the rest of us around the world, we need to stand to our feet and give a standing ovation. Okay? So here we go. And those are the announcements and ovations for today. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is Ashe.
Ashe.
Yes.
As we prepare ourselves for the message today, for the word, we want to just chant a little bit. We just want to chant a little bit. We want to chant in a space of thanksgiving. So we invite you to just close your eyes. Slow your breathing. Tony, take us to the meditation blue. Take us down about 50%. Let's begin to think about what our week has been like. Let's begin to think about those things that challenged us, those things that drained us, those things that gave us the perception that we have been drained, but we recognize in this divine space that we are not drained. That even when we are being emptied out, we are being filled with energy from a divine source that loves us, that completes us, and that gives us the gift of living in the overflow. I live in the overflow. I live in That's all that I have to know. I live in the overflow. Help me sing it now. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. That's all that I have to know. I live in the overflow. Sing it again now. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. I live, that's all that I have to know. I live in the overflow. Sing it again with feeling. I live in the overflow. And I live in the overflow. That's all I have to know. That I have to know. I live in the overflow. Can you moan it, sing? We're gonna moan beneath the same.
In the overflow, I live in the overflow, and that's all that I have to know. I live in the overflow.
One more time, let's sing. I live in the overflow.
I live
In the overflow. That's all that I have to know. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. Just repeat that. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. There's no lack, there's no need. I live in the overflow. All my needs are met to overflowing. I live in the overflow. All of the pain, all the hurt, it is gone. I live in the Sit in that feeling and that good feeling, and so it is. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you live in the overflow, get a universal round of applause just for getting you here.
My message today, y'all. Oh, when we talk about that overflow spirit, we talk about that energy that is coming in. Oh, we talk about where we come from. We serve an abundant God. We serve an abundant universe. We serve an abundant cosmos, an abundant ancestry. All of these things are the same thing. They're synonymous. This energy is here. I love something that Chris Jami said, and this is this is powerful. I want us to think about this. The reality of loving God is loving God like God is a superhero who actually saved you from stuff rather than a Santa Claus who merely gave you some stuff. Oh, let me get that one again. The reality of loving God is loving God like a superhero who actually saved you from stuff rather than a Santa Claus who merely gave you some stuff. You see, sometimes we're grateful because we think, oh, God gave me this, God gave me this, God gave me this like Santa Claus. God gave me this, God gave me this, God gave me this like the Tooth Fairy. God gave me this, God gave me this, God gave me this like people who just felt like they just needed to keep giving. But the reality is, God was a superhero in your life because of the choices that we sometimes make. The universe actually saved us from ourselves. There are times where we thought we were doing the right thing. There were times when we thought we were in a space of good. There were times when we thought we were being exactly where we're supposed to be, but we were in the wrong place. And something got cut off, or something fell apart, or something didn't work out. And in that moment, we were complaining about it. In that moment, we were saying it was something negative. In that moment, we were saying, God, why me? But the reality is we were being rescued from something so that we could be prepared for the next level. It's all about finding your place. Turn to somebody and say, find your place. Look at somebody else and say, know what your place is. No, I'm saying, say it just like that. Know what your place is. I like saying that from the country. You better know your place. Some of us get angry when we hear that because it triggers stuff. We're like, the wrong person tell me that, I'm going off. But it's important, and you better know your place. It's important to know your place. Brother Jeff shared a story with me. Shout out to him for sharing. It was an old story that I had to be reminded of it. It's a story about this little boy who finds this rock. Doesn't know what this rock is. A pretty rock, though. Kids find a pretty rock. Our kids find pretty rocks, and they come in and they say, this is the greatest rock in the world. I've never seen a rock like this. And, depending on what that rock is, you either laugh or you either say, oh, poor baby, or you say, oh, maybe something curious about this rock. Well, this little fella comes in, and he comes into his dad. He said, I found this rock. And he said, Dad, how much is this rock worth? And he said, well, just depends. What are you trying to do with it? He said, well, I want to know how much this rock. Well, why are you fixated on this rock? He said, well, I can understand how this rock is worth. I can understand what I'm worth. What am I worth to you? Because I'm your son. The parents said, what do you mean? What kind of question is that? He said, well, what am I worth? I want to know how much my life is worth to you. And I guess he's asking in monetary value. Sometimes our children ask some weird questions. What am I worth? If something happened to me, when we are adults, we get insurance policies and we try to see what our life is worth. When we realize we want that $5 million policy, then we see the premium and we say, well, maybe my life ain't worth $5 million. Maybe my life is worth $1 million. Maybe we say my life is worth $50,000. Maybe my life is worth $10,000 at that 10 cents a month. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's in the space. Maybe that's what life is worth for me. But how do we determine the value of a human life? And so when he's got this stone in front of him, he said, you know what? I'm going to use that stone as an example. You want to know? I'm going to use that stone for you. He said, why don't you go down there to the street market and just go around, and when people hold up the stone like you're going to sell it. And he said, well, how much do I charge? He said, don't do that. Just hold the stone up. And when people ask you how much you charge, just hold up 2 fingers. And so the little boy went down to the street market. Everybody just kind of bustling around, hustling around. He walking around with this rock. Somebody comes up to him and say, young man, how much for that rock? And he said, 2 fingers. He put 2 fingers up. And the person, Denise, said, $2? $2? I will give you $2 for that rock. So the little boy comes home. You know, he got this rock. He's like, man, Daddy, they said they would give me $2 for a rock. He couldn't believe it. And so he said, man, oh, okay. He said, tell you what, son, why don't you go down to the museum and just walk around with it, hold it up. Don't say anything. If somebody asks you how much, just hold up 2 fingers. And so he got to that point, went to the museum, walked around with the rock in the lobby. The curator of the museum came up to him and he said, hey, what are you doing with that rock? What are you doing with that stone there? How much you want for it? He just held up 2 fingers. Museum curator said, $200? I will buy that from you for $200. So the little kid, he's just destroyed. He's just excited. He goes running home. He said, man, he offered me $200. $200. And so when he had $200, he said, I'm going to get $200. But he said, whoa, before you go get $200, I want you to go down to the jewelry store. I want you to talk to the jeweler. Just walk in with it in your hand. It's shiny, it's pretty. And he walked into the jewelry store. He said, if you go in there, just tell him, if he asks how much it is, just hold up 2 fingers. So he goes in the jewelry store, and he's walking around with the rock. And when he's walking around with the rock, the jeweler said, hey, excuse me, young man, how much you want for that rock? And he holds up 2 fingers. He said, $200,000? I will pay you $200,000 right now if you leave it with me. So the kid comes running back. He is so excited. He couldn't believe he goes from $2 to $200 to $200,000. He couldn't believe it. So he's telling his dad, $200,000, $200,000. He said, oh my God, I cannot believe this. And so he said, well, son, that's what it means. That's what your life means. He said, what did you learn from this? That it depends on where you place yourself. Your value depends on where you place yourself. The old scripture that says you don't cast your pearls among swine is because swine can't value pearls. People get mad if you let your 2-year-old play with a $10,000 Rolex. They don't understand the value in it. To them, it's just a shiny toy. But then we get angry at people when they mistreat us, when they mistreat and undervalue our energy, when it was us who placed ourselves in proximity to them in the first place. And even when we placed ourselves there, God said, no, that's not for you. I'm not going to leave you in the street market. I'm going to move you to a space where you'll be moved to a museum, where you're going to move from the museum to the jewelry. We're going to put you in a space where people value you and who you are. You are a shining gem. You are a gemstone. Value is in where you place yourself. Anytime you need to move on, and this is the nurturing message for today, because love folk here in this house, beloved people, I'm telling you right now, that when you learn how to place yourself in the right spaces, you will see your life amplify and grow, and you will no longer spend time complaining about those who will not value you. So if you want to value yourself, the first thing you got to do is discover yourself. And I know it's tough because I have a good, strong sense of self. I know who I am. I found the deodorant that works for me. I found the kind of clothes that works for me. I got the right kind of shoes that I like. I know who I am. No, that's not who you are. That's your external. Discovering yourself means discovering why you are here on this earth to do what nobody else is here to do. That's the discovery of the place that you are in there. When you discover that place, when you live in that space, then guess what? Things start to change. When you discover yourself, you begin to place yourself. Discover that thing, discover that spark, discover that understanding that God has got you covered. Discover that understanding that you can do all things but fail. Then you're going to find that you're going to place yourself in different circles. You ain't going back to the same places you used to be in. And it don't matter if people complain about you not being in those same spaces. You ain't the same anymore. The person at the jewelry store is not hanging out in the street market. except to get the things that you can get in the street. But they are not taking the valuable jewels to the street market. You ain't buying a $100,000 diamond on the street market. You got to go to a specialty place. So when you have discovered yourself, you begin to place yourself around people, places, and things that have like energy, because they're the only spaces where you will be recognized and appreciated. And when you do that, you see that you will be fed, you will be nurtured, you will begin to grow, you will begin to glow, because you are aligned. Now, you discover yourself, you place yourself, and then the third thing that you're going to do, and then we're going to think about this for the entire week going forward, is you're going to replace yourself. Oh, Lord. How can I replace myself when I've just placed myself? It doesn't make sense. Every single thing continues because re is a prefix for back and again. It means to go again, to reassess, to readjust. Listen to those prefixes. To be reborn, to be resurrected. It is a continual, life is a continual process. The sun dies every single day and is reborn again in the morning. These energies are here of replacement. Now, there are two ways that you can replace. Replace means to get rid of, because sometimes we got to get rid of some of the things in our life that are holding us back. Some things you got to be replaced. Some of y'all, some of us, I'm going to say to myself, because y'all know me, I'm going to be transparent. Some of us got to replace some of the people that are no longer able to go on the journey with us. I know they're familiar, y'all. I know they're familiar. I know we bonded with them. Much of it was trauma bonding. I know I pledged the theater guild. I marched in the aristocratic bands. I pledged the fraternity. I understand. When y'all go through hell together, it bonds you in a psychological way. And sometimes it helps you grow, but sometimes it helps you not let go. And you got to be able and be willing to replace the people. If there are people in your life that continue to tear you down, that continue to not pour into you, that continue to not see you and your value for the gemstone that you are in this world, they got to go. They got to go. There's nothing negative about it. They got to go. It's okay. If they don't understand, then that means they don't have your best interest in mind. I've been in relationships with people in a space where I said, look, we just can't do this no more. And people say, why not? Why not? And some other people said, you know what? I understand. I feel you. Maybe it's time for us to evolve. And we evolve into different things at different times. So some people just got to go. The other thing you have to do at times is you have to be unafraid of replacing. Now, what is replacing? Replacing isn't a bad thing. You don't have to throw everything away, but you might have to replace things. If the microphone is stronger on the left side of the room, I might have to replace it. If I'm trying to pick up something from the corner, I might have to replace this one. If the monitor goes out, I might have to replace it too. If I need something in my periphery that will help me, I have to replace it. Many people have replaced the traditional church environment with Infinity Fellowship. You have replaced how you see the world because you had to replace, because all of the other trauma was just not working. The judgment of whether you need to remove or replace things in your life is, how is it bearing fruit for you? We got to replace the nature of our relationship sometimes. I'm speaking as a personal testimony. There are times in my life where I had to recognize in my 20s that perhaps us being in a relationship, close and personal, is not the best thing for both of us. We may be better as co-parents, and that's okay too, because it's better to be exceptional co-parents than it is to be people who are going to traumatize children for another generation to come. For the sake of being able to stand up somewhere and say, we've been together for 45 years. We've been hitting each other, beating each other, biting each other, throwing each other under the bus, taking each other's money, stealing, lying, and cussing. But we've been together 45 years of trauma bonding. No, there are times when you have to replace things in your life so that you can continue to move forward. You got to go with the people God sends you. Go with the people God sends you. But you can't go with those people until you have made the move to replace how you think about yourself. When you discover yourself, when you place yourself in the environment where people are around you, God will send you the people, places, and things through replacement that will allow you to go with what is sent to you. Not always what you want. It ain't always what you want. Because you can't get what you want. I say it all the time. Abraham Hicks was saying, you can't get what you want. You can only get what you are. Yeah. You can't be funky, nasty, crazy. I'm just using colloquial terms today, y'all. I can use intellectual terms and talk about frequency vibrations, but you can't be nasty, negative, and always tearing things down. And then when I come and say, what do you want in life? Oh, I want somebody who's going to be loving and heal me and come to a space where they can wrap themselves around me and meet me where I am. Nobody who is trying to vibrate in a high space is going to delve into a space for a long time where they have to sit in negative. They are not going to place the pearl of their divine energy into the swine energy of negativity. So you got to change the vibrational frequency that you are on. Are you loving? Are you friendly when people encounter you? Do you find yourself at peace with who you are? When you enter a room, do you bring light there? When you are on the job doing your work, do you accomplish the task on time? When somebody asks you to be somewhere, do you show up? And you're there for them when they ask you to show up. If so, those are the exact qualities that you're going to attract. Because the same people who are doing the same things are going to find their ways to you. And just like that trailer found its way to Jeff and his son, guess what? The universe knows exactly what you need, and it's waiting on you to replace the energy. It's waiting on you to know your place. Because once you know your place, the universe will replace all of the things that do not fit in the space that you are now in. So today in this space going forward, you all, open the door to replacing those negative thoughts with good thoughts. Open the door to discovering that every single crazy dream that you thought you have is coming into alignment. Even if what you're dealing with is not being sure because you have so much going on. Sometimes we get these thoughts so much happening to us, it's just racing in our minds. We just, oh my gosh, 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 it's racing in my mind. I got so much stuff coming in. I thought about doing this, and then I came up to me, I was driving along, and I thought about doing something else, and I got Post-it notes all over the place, and I got things going on in my house, and my journal is just full, and I just, every time I see something, just something new and creative comes to me. I tell you what, just like this cup of coffee that spilled, if I had one good cup of coffee going a day, I would rather have this cup overflowing and overflowing rather than me looking into it and say, man, I just can't seem to get any coffee at all. So as the song says, give thanks with a grateful heart that you have a lot going on. It means that the universe is pouring into you. When you sit still, though, when you listen to the inner still voice, you will find the direction, because racing thoughts and a ton of things and a number of opportunities, it is one thing. I'm thinking so much about this coffee, I want to keep drinking it. One of these things that you got is when you have an overabundance of creativity and ideas. That is not a bad thing. That is a gift. Because with thoughts, with energy, with ideas, it's telling you to be uncomfortable where you are. The universe is saying, God is saying to you, move. Do not be afraid to explore. Because if you explore with purpose, I will show you those things that are supposed to fit in those purpose. And creativity and ideas and thoughts are like a pantry with food. You'd rather have too much than not enough. And if you ever been in a place where you had to open it up and figure out how to make some dried pinto beans into a casserole, or to eat a chicken back like we had to sometimes growing up. And if you ever had a chicken back, you know what I'm talking about. Ain't no meat on a chicken back. It's just a bone. You batter up that chicken. My mom would batter that chicken back up and put it on some pinto beans. And that thing looked like an exoskeleton of a lobster or something. And we'd sit there, there's not, we break the little tiny bones on the chicken back because they would give you the chicken backs. You didn't have to pay for them. So yeah, but bless you, but we never went hungry. And my mama cooked that chicken back like it was a pot roast. And she would make the bread in and drop those things in and lay them on there. And my dad, and we would say, what is it? And my dad would say, shh, eat your food. And there's nothing on a chicken back. But you learn to just absorb the seasoning and be grateful. Making something out of nothing, because that was a gift my mother had. She could make something out of nothing. And when you come to a space where you have had to make something out of nothing, oh, it's a gift when you got many choices in front of you. Give thanks for that space. This is why the mere message today is know your place. Your place is exactly where you are right now when you remember who you are. And if you don't know who you are, all you got to do is look back at all you've been through. And the fact that you're still standing here, the fact that you're still strong, the fact that you're still cognizant of the good in the world, the fact that you have the gift to be able to navigate, that is the God living in you and shining through you. This is the gift that you are receiving today, to know your place. And your place is good. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Ashe. All right. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale, let it go. Stand to your feet wherever you are. Place your hands over your heart. Close your eyes and receive this goodness. See in your mind the continual good that is radiating from your space. Trusting in this space of centeredness as we have received the word today. Trusting in this space of fellowship as we have sung these songs. As we have lifted our voices together in this space around the world. Trusting that all things are working in our favor. We are moving from this confidence-centered space of the heart, moving in all directions, knowing that everything is working out for us. I speak for those who are demonstrating the gift of moving through. I speak for those who may have been grappling with moving through, because transition can be difficult. It can be uncomfortable. But just like we outgrow clothes that we no longer need, the sign that we no longer need them is that they are no longer comfortable. That means that they don't fit us anymore. So it's time for us to step it up to the next size. And this size is infinite. And so I speak divine love today. I speak discernment today. I speak alignment today. I speak understanding and discovery of self today. I speak replacement of the things that no longer serve us. I speak rearrangement of the things that do serve us into their new role going forward. And we give thanks for this place today. This quiet space, this loving space, this place of God. We give thanks right now. We proclaim victory. We proclaim expansion. We proclaim attainment. And we proclaim the good. We embrace it. We love it. We live it. We breathe it in. Inhaling, exhaling, and releasing. Oh, we sit in this good feeling because this good feeling is remembrance. It's knowing that this is who we're born to be. We thank you, God, for this moment in time. We thank you for this healing and this growth and this expansion forward. We proclaim the good. And so it is. Amen and Ashe. All right, rub these hands together. We have embraced the energy of the heart. On the count of three, we're just going to sling it around the room and feel all the good and share that love energy in abundance. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yes. Y'all all right? So let's sway. As we prepare ourselves to leave this space, We are just moving from the physical space, but this energy is with you all the time. This remembrance is this is what you're operating with. When you move from this place, when you move from this broadcast, when you move into the world, you are moving with your head held high, with your heart open, and your consciousness aligned. Because you recognize that you are in a place where you are seen, you are loved, and you are appreciated. Not just by us, but by the entire universe. Ain't it a beautiful thing? Let's sing together.
If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's a day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's a day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family.
And God's reminding me.
God's reminding me to look at you and see family.
God's reminding me.
God's reminding me to look at you and see family.
We speak that the love of God, the infinite power of the universe, the confidence of knowing your place, rest, rule, rock, and abide with you. From this moment forward, we sing together.
Amen, Amen, Hotep Shalom, Namaste, Ashe.
We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. If you're here, get some popcorn. I think
And
I smell
Reggie.
it. Is it right?
The Wooten
And
brothers.
Reggie. Oh, Standing Ovation, Stand Ovation to Reggie Wooten. Y'all know Reggie is not with us today. It's because he's been in Atlanta, playing at the City Winery in Atlanta with the Wooten brothers, internationally known. And tonight, he is in Nashville at the City Winery, playing again with the Wooten brothers. So Reg, we're sending you all the love in the world. We know it's going to be an exceptional show. We know that you're going to continue to send your teacher light into the universe. And everybody else, grab some popcorn after service.
Yes.
Everybody else at home, we love you. That's a fact you cannot change. I thought I smelled some popcorn.
I know. It's not
All right, we love y'all.
Woo!